At NGX Reco, we remain committed to promoting a fair, transparent, and orderly market that thrives on full and timely information disclosure for the operation of an efficient capital market where investors are adequately protected. As a member of the NGX Group, our commitment to driving sustainability initiatives dates back in time. We continue to partner with domestic and international organizations to support the implementation of robust sustainability programs, including the development of standards and guidelines to foster the development of sustainable businesses and enterprises. I look forward to future collaborations and partnerships with you all as we join forces to ensure that the capital market remains transparent.
I am glad today to announce that the final roadmap report developed from exposure drafts launched by me on February 1st, 2024 on this floor of the exchange is about to be unveiled. The roadmap is a tool of mainstreaming the implementation of sustainability reporting in Nigeria in phases in the areas of reporting and assurance with timelines. The coordinating director of accounting standards and sustainability reporting of the Financial Reporting Council will have the opportunity to drill down and give us deeper insight into this roadmap. In conclusion, let me reiterate that having gone this far, the Financial Reporting Council will not, or let me start with, we, as part of our implementation roadmap, one of the things that we see improvement opportunity in how countries transit from one reporting framework to another is in the area of advocacy, is in the area of capacity building, is in the area of training, is in the area of providing that support system so that preparers of financial statements or investors, those who have interest in how business performance are reported, would understand. So we would put in a lot of resources, and that's why we've gone into partnership with the Nigerian Integrated Reporting Committee to ensure that during the voluntary timelines, which is 3 years, as will be unveiled with the roadmap, companies will have the opportunity of helping develop capacity within, individually as corporates. We as a regulator, what we are going to do is to pull resources together, ensuring that we build that support system that would encourage and develop capacity building, training, development of taxonomy, so that by the time we get to the mandatory phase of the implementation, everybody really understand what they need to do to comply with the standards.
You know, in Africa, marriage is not two people. It's actually communities. And so what I'm actually doing here is in the same way as we had a public consummation of the African Development Bank, ISSB marriage, I'm actually consummating this marriage. And the reason why that's so important, and the reason why Mr. Feber, who's going to speak to us today, is so important, is he's not just a standard setter and standard writer and chair of the International Sustainability Standards Board, which, by the way, is a job that he didn't want. And it's not just that the ISSB was born at the same time as GFANZ. How much money do you think the Global Glasgow Financial Alliance on Net Zero has collectively? So when we talk about capital flows, what kind of catchment market are we looking at? Again, a guess. How much in dollars does it have under its control? The GFANZ. So $137 trillion, of which only 3% of climate action, climate flows come to Africa. So in other words, when we talk about this journey that we're on and that we're learning together, it's really about figuring out how we build more resilience, which is what Dr. Rabiu said, into our economy, and how we take advantage of this capacity building that has just been spoken about.
During our conversation with the president yesterday night, I offered a very candid view and direct view to say that accounting is counting a lot of things that count, but not everything that count. Accounting doesn't look at the long term. Accounting doesn't look at natural assets, at human capital, and so many important aspects of the resilience of macroeconomic models and of microeconomic business models. And what came to me was, well, if counting really everything, the Naira would not be sitting where it is now. Because investors, credit ratings, banks and many others would look through the current challenges into the incredible richness of Nigeria, its human capital, its natural capital, its resources. And this is precisely what we are doing at ISSB. This is the reason I accepted this job to start with, because I've been a CEO, I've been a CFO, like a number of you here, preparing accounts every year, doing budget and strategy sessions, and feeling frustrated that I didn't get any questions about sustainability, any questions that are really about the long term, what we need to prepare. And if there is one thing that everyone around this planet needs to prepare for, it's climate change. Climate change is happening whether you want it or you don't want it. It's happening now, it's not happening in 30 years. It is happening now. We will have, all of us will face transition risks because regulations will, and global policy, local policymakers will have to prepare their own sovereign territories and jurisdictions for the future. But we are also facing climate risks, direct climate physical risks. We were discussing with the Vice President yesterday and his special advisors and the Minister of Finance, as well as with the Minister of Agriculture, the situation of cocoa here. Yes, cocoa farmers are facing a new regulation in EU against deforestation. That is true. That is a transition risk. Our standards can help the Nigerian community to address this issue, because if we are in Nigeria becoming the most transparent supply chain, the most credible because we have appropriate metrics to describe what is an inclusive supply chain, a deforestation-free supply chain, a regenerative agriculture supply chain, a carbon sinking supply chain, we will be in Nigeria benefiting most also from those European companies that are going to need to invest in their supply chain to make sure that that supply chain is EU ready. It is a constraint, it is a transition risk, but it is also an incredible opportunity to address a physical risk.
As affirmed its commitment, Nigeria will adopt sustainability reporting, and they will be providing all the support that we need for this adoption journey. Thank you very much. I am absolutely pleased that we are here and we've gotten the buy-in of everybody. And I want to assure you that all that we need for advocacy, for capacity building, for training, developing taxonomy that will help the adoption very seamless. We will champion this together with the Nigerian Integrated Reporting Committee so that the adoption will be seamless. From the early adopters to the voluntary adopters up to the time that the adoption will become mandatory. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.